Good morning, good morning, good morning, family. Welcome to Speak Your Success. You're in for an amazing episode today. Today is Wellness Wednesday, and we're going to go ahead and get into it here on Speak Your Success in the morning. Alrighty, family. Welcome back to Speak Your Success in the morning. Today is August 13th, 2025, and y'all, you already know it is a great day to be alive, a great day to be here with you. And like I said earlier, today is Wellness Wednesday. So today we're going to dive in a little bit and just talk about the body. We're going to talk about recharging. We're going to talk a little bit about wellness, right? Because that's what we do every single Wednesday here for Wellness Wednesday. And y'all, today is the first day of school for my son. Excuse me. Okay. For first day of school back for my son. I know, depending on where you are, the kids either started back on Monday, but my son's starting back today, which I never understood. Like, why you starting back in the middle of the week? Is there a particular reason why this is done? I don't know. I never understood that. Never got clear on that. But either way, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited for my kiddo to get back to school and get going and everything like that. So without further ado, don't want to waste too much time today. I just want to go ahead and pull up our scripture for today, coming straight from the source. And straight from the source, we're going to be in the book of Matthew today. Okay. The book of Matthew. And we're going to go ahead and bring that up. And we're going to be in Matthew chapter 5. Chapter 5, and I'm going to start at the top because this is the Beatitudes, or this is the Sermon on the Mount. And I don't want to skip past just the top of the text. So we're going to start from verse 1. So chapter 5, verse 1 in Matthew. And the text reads, Now when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. And he opened his mouth and began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the gentle, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward in heaven is greater, or your reward in heaven is great. For in this same way, they persecuted the prophets who were before you. And the reason why I want to read the Beatitudes is because this is the Sermon on the Mount. This is one of the most influential sermons, I would say, that Jesus ever preached. All of his sermons, of course, were influential. But in terms of references, in terms of hearing and seeing this text shared, yeah, this text here, I want to break down. Where's the verse? Like it's the directives for me, right? So for instance, blessed are the gentle, for they will inherit the earth. So hearing that, Also seeing blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. So you're seeing you're seeing the parallel in the text, right? Which is beautiful, because a lot of times we can seek instruction, we can seek guidance, but I love this here in the text because he's giving us the front end. Blessed are the merciful, right? So the people who show mercy, and they will receive mercy. So not only is he giving us a clear blueprint in a clear framework of how we can obtain these things, he's also eliminating the confusion of it. Right? It's not like he's speaking in in a puzzle or in an enigma. It's clear. It's clear as day, actually. And then knowing that anytime we see the red words, this means that this is Jesus speaking. This is Jesus speaking to us, right? This is him speaking to us. But y'all, there's not much that needs to be said after reading the text. It's pretty cut and dry. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Who will see God? The pure in heart. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Y'all, this text is so clear because Jesus is letting us know, right? Like verse 10, blessed are those who have been persecuted for the sake of righteousness. For anybody out there who may ever feel that in their journey, right, they were being wrongfully persecuted, anybody in their journey who is being persecuted for the sake of righteousness, Jesus is letting you know in the text, he's reminding us all that theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So he's letting us know that your suffering is not in vain. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and falsely say all kinds of things, of evil things against you because of me. Blessed, like you're called and you're considered blessed. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is in heaven is great. So God is letting us know this is what you see or going through on earth side. This is what you're going to get on the spiritual side. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward in heaven is great. For in this same way, they persecuted the prophets who were before you. So hearing Jesus preach this sermon and then hearing him or seeing him say, you're not the first one, right? You're down the line of other prophets that experienced persecution, that experienced being insulted, that experienced evil and hate. However, right, you will also be able to experience the kingdom of heaven. Family, today, if you feel that you are being persecuted for the sake of righteousness, there are people currently in India being challenged and being pushed and being forced to not be able to acknowledge their God, their heavenly Father. Right? They're trying to push and then they're trying to force other religions on these people. Blessed are those. As we continue to pray for them out in India, blessed are those. Right? That's what this text is reminding us. Blessed are those who are persecuted, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Family, I hope you enjoyed Straight from the Source this morning. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back with more Speaker Success in the morning after this quick commercial break. Looking for timeless pieces that make a statement? Discover the jewelry department, where elegance meets craftsmanship.
Owned by Miguel Contreras and located at 13505 Mumford Place, Suite 103 in Dallas, the Jewelry Department is your destination for stunning, one of a kind pieces designed to elevate your style. From classic designs to modern trends, we offer a curated selection that reflects sophistication and artistry. Because we believe your jewelry should be just as unique as you are. Visit us today at the Jewelry Department, where every piece tells a story. And let us help you find the perfect piece that speaks to yours. The Jewelry Department, elevating your look with elegance and style. Find us at 13505 Mumford Place, Suite 103 in Dallas.
Family, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Speaker Success in the Morning. Today's August 13th, 2025. We're currently 18 minutes after the hour. 18 minutes after the hour. Y'all, and we're getting ready to dive back into back to school. So today is Wellness Wednesday, but today I just wanted to celebrate for a quick second. And the reason why I wanted to celebrate is because my son going back to school, and we did the whole back to school shopping. We did the whole back to school shopping situation. Got make sure, because he's at a private school, so we made sure to get him his little khaki shorts and his little khaki pants and his also his long pant. What do you call? So they're khaki pants, the long ones, but then also slacks. Yeah, he got the long blue ones as well, and got his little white polo shirt, little blue polo shirt, little yellow polo shirt, and then of course got the long sleeve button down dress shirt for when they have chapel and stuff. But family, I want to just celebrate today for all the parents, right? Because with this being Wellness Wednesday, I am sure, mm, 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 I am sure that you are getting an opportunity to exhale, right? With the kids going back to school, you're not having to try to find anything for the kids to do at the house. You're not having to try to find different activities around the city to take kids to. Your kids aren't eating all the food in the house, all the snacks, all the drinks, everything like that. So today, for Wellness Wednesday, parent, you're doing a great job. Parent, exhale. Parent, keep on going, okay? Because now you get to return back to work and don't have to worry about what your kids doing. Because you know what they're doing. Or you should know what they're doing. They're at school now. Okay? So shout out to y'all, man. I'm excited for him to return back. And I know this is going to do wonders for your mental health, for my mental health, for our mental health. Because it is just one thing when you're stressed and worried and up in arms about where's your kid, but it's another thing when they're learning, they're safe, and they're cool. All right. So today, as we transition, one rule, right, or the one thing, the one thing rule for mental health. And I want to bring this up. I know earlier this week I talked a little bit about my therapist, brother Joe Corley, but I want to talk about the one thing rule for mental health, because I think it can't be said enough, right? And this is ultimately just you discussing one simple wellness habit that you can focus on this week. One. Instead of overwhelming yourself, right? Because if we stay online too long, okay, if we stay online too long, will have us feeling like and have us doing stuff to where we're signing up for doing a whole laundry list of mental health tasks or things that we think are going to help us de-stress, and then it ends up being overwhelming and it ends up wearing us down even more, right? So we're just going to focus on one thing, right? And I'm telling y'all this because I was watching something else online just the other day, and the gentleman started talking about how he was seeking on his mental health journey to begin to decrease his stress so that he can ultimately improve his overall performance for his life and for the sport he was competing in. But then he started to say that as he began to make a list of these things, he was like, okay, I'm going to try doing this today. I'm going to try doing yoga. Okay, I'm going to try going to see a therapist. Okay, I'm going to try writing out my plans. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Then he listed off like 5 or 6 things. And I said, good God. I said, my man is creating like a strenuous list and a strenuous task for himself every day, that adds to stress. And we don't want to add the stress. The goal is to decrease stress. So for you, I want you to, like, if you got a pencil, paper, maybe you don't use either. Okay. I want you to begin to write down, like, what's one wellness habit? Like, maybe for you today, it could be drinking 2 extra glasses of water a day. Or maybe it could be anytime that you're in the building. I know I love this one. Anytime you're in the building, you say, instead of taking the elevator, I'm gonna take the stairs. I'm just gonna take the stairs, because it's gonna get that blood flowing. It's gonna help me begin to release, relax, and recharge. Right. So instead of doing the elevator, I'm gonna hit the stairs. Or you could say, it's been a while since I've talked to my friends from college. This was a good friend of mine. And, some of us have those relationships with people where we don't talk for like months or weeks. We call each other and we pick right back up where we left off. That's how I am with my boy Chibuzo. We went to college together. We were roommates. And like we did everything together in that phase of life, like everything. We're hitting the club together. We ended up went to church together. We dated like the same girls together, like like they were best friends. We didn't date the same girls, okay, but they was best friends. But and now, since me and Buzo have gotten older now, and I got my family and he got his family, every once in a while, like we'll hit each other up to just reconnect. Like, hey Buzo, what's up, man? What you got going on? Like, and we'll just go back and forth. But calling one friend to reconnect is something else that you can do for the one thing rule, right? And those are just a few examples that I've done, especially to try and drink more water. Lord knows, I like lemonade. I like ginger beer. I like anything sweet and anything sugary. Okay, I don't naturally want to go for water, but I realized that when I start the day with my big jug and I fill it up with water and I just start drinking, I can drink a couple of those before me going and getting lemonade or going and getting ginger beer or any of those things right there. So that's a few areas right there, right? We're gonna take one simple wellness habit and begin to attack that and apply that. But then the second thing I want to talk about, and I'm bringing this up from personal experience, y'all. It's the fact of understanding the connection between your food and your mood. Right? I'm gonna run it back one more time. Understand the connection between your food and your mood. I began to realize that now I've gotten a little bit older. Okay. I used to hear people all the time talk about, watch out for red 40. Watch out for blue 5. Watch out for this and that. And I wouldn't think anything of it. I would put whatever in my body and say, man, whatever. I'm about to go hoop. I'm gonna burn it off anyway. It don't matter. Right? Like it's not really that deep. Like I'm not even tripping on whatever you talking about right now, because it's not that deep. But then I began to realize that there are certain foods that will either give me a boost, or there's certain foods that will drain my mood and really pull on my energy. And the thing that I began to see was Cheetos. Cheeto Puffs. I began to see that me eating Cheeto Puffs will affect my mood. I began to see that the thing that I love most, going to Quick Trip and going to get a Route 44 size Rooster Booster and drinking all that Red 40, which I love, that sugar, I love it. But that would also drain my mood. Then I realized how I'm feeling. And then seeing that I started to feel down. I started to feel like I was in like a down and out type mood. And I was like, what is this? Like, why do I feel like this? And a couple of days later, I began to just go back and recount, like, what did I eat? What did I drink? Like, what happened? And I realized what I drank, that Rooster Booster. And then even there have been times Like literally the other day, I was watching a Hurricane Katrina documentary, Hurricane Katrina at a Time, which Ryan Coogler was executive producer on. I'm sitting there watching this film. And then after, my mood was extremely, extremely affected. And I didn't realize, yeah, we're talking about food and mood connection, but I'm paralleling right here. But I didn't realize also that the things that you watch can also affect the mood that you have. So when we talk tangible, right? We talk tangible. So ultimately, this is the things that you consume and the connection that it creates. So think about it like this, okay? Eating protein, right? Eating good protein, that's going to get you ready to attack the day. So getting some protein in the morning, maybe eating your oatmeal and dropping a little bit of peanut butter in there, or dropping some protein in your oatmeal so that you can be ready to attack the day. And these are things that's going to build you up as opposed to put you in a down and out mood. And then, oh God, limit the sugar. Oh, John, what? Limit the sugar. Limit your sugar intake. Limit your sugar intake. I don't know if any of y'all like me, but Lord have mercy. I love that sugar, man. But when we limit our sugar intake, one of the biggest benefits that's going to happen is that this is going to help us avoid like those crashes in the afternoon. Like, for instance, Red Bull, right? The energy drink. People would always warn me, John, Red Bull is going to affect your heart, but then also Red Bull is going to take you up and a Red Bull is going to take you down. But that's dangerous, especially if you're out like driving or doing something to where you need to be fully awake, fully operating on the highest level. So I had to begin to avoid drinking Red Bull to try to get over a sleepy night. Because then driving, I'm closing my eyes at the red light. I'm sometimes closing my eyes while I'm going down the street. It was really dangerous. Okay. So we got to understand the things that we consume and how that affects the connection between our body. And then, like, we want to make sure that whatever we're not doing or we're stopping doing, that we're replacing it, right? So what does that look like? It looks like taking in those, what they call happy foods. John, what in the world is a happy food? Like, I'm talking about like your leafy greens, your spinach, talking about berries, talking about nuts. These are things that, well, with nuts, that's going to get you a little bit more protein. With berries, it has antioxidants, so it's flushing out some stuff in your body. And leafy greens is always just necessary and essential for you to be able to consume. Okay, so this is just what we need to begin to consider as we're looking and as we're moving forward to be our best selves, to optimize our lifestyle. What does that look like? Well, that's what it looks like right there. Getting that protein in early and then cutting out some of that sugar. I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself. Okay, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself. And then lastly, we wanna have big goals, right? We want to have big wellness goals. I want to be able to see my kids graduate. I want to walk my baby down the aisle. I want to be the person to where I can run a mile in under 8 minutes. Right? These are goals that each and every one of us has in some way, shape, or fashion. And these goals will be achieved or they won't based on the activity that we're taking and doing leading up to this. So what does that mean? We got to identify those small wins and those small victories. Right? I don't want you to get so big in the goal to where you overwhelm yourself and also you miss your opportunity to begin to pat yourself on the back, to celebrate you. No, no, no. That's bad news. Like, we don't want to do that. We can't do that. We have to always find time and make time to celebrate ourselves. Got to, got to, got to. So I want you to think of this, because tiny wins at the end of the day, they always build momentum. Okay? Think about somebody dropping a raindrop in a pond. Boing, and then you see it ripple out. Woo, 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 and then that thing ripple out until it covers the whole pond. That was one small drop. That was one small habit. That was one small decision that's going to ultimately allow you to be poised and positioned for your improvement on your life. So a tiny win could be you've been struggling to get to the gym, struggling. So now what do? So now you take preparation before you go to sleep that night and you say, I'm going to do something physical in the morning. Then you put those shoes by the bed and then you already have your workout clothes right there. So that way, when you wake up, you slide your feet into those shoes and then you just go out and you go for a gentle jog or a walk, brisk walk, right? This is a small win because if you were doing nothing physical or nothing active, and then now you're at the spot to where you're going out and you're doing something, this is a beautiful thing because it's a step in the right direction, right? A small win for you could be you always eating fast food. Every time you heading home, every time, oh, McDonald's, oh, Whataburger, oh, Jack in the Box, whatever it might be. I don't know what your guilty pleasure is, and I'm not here to judge you. But then you say, I got food at home. I'm gonna take the extra time to meal prep on this Sunday night to where I can cook a big dish or where I can cook a dish. I can separate it into little Tupperwares and then now I'll be able to take that to work tomorrow. Right there, plain and simple. Boom. This is a small win, right? A small win is you always going out every single Friday, right? You got your homies hitting you up. You got your homegirls hitting you up. But you know that you've been wanting to get better at your budget, wanting to get better at the money that you're spending, where you're spending it, and how you're spending it. So now what do? Well, now you say, you put your phone on Do Not Disturb. You make plans ahead of time. Hey, y'all, man, I'm not going to be able to make it this Friday. Why not? Why you can't come out this Friday? Nah, not this Friday. Because this Friday I got this event to go to. Or this Friday I'm joining a book club. This Friday I'm a part of XYZ. Right? So now you're not just shutting things down cold turkey, but you're replacing it. Right? So you're eliminating something negative. This is how diets work for people. And this is how life changes really work for people best. You don't just shut something down cold turkey, but you just replace it. Right? You go to the kitchen, instead of drinking the soda, I'm going to drink the water, replacing it. Going to the kitchen, instead of grabbing candy or instead of grabbing trail mix with the M&Ms and with the nuts, I'm going to grab fruit. I'm going to grab a couple of grapes, right? So it's just the small tweak because a lot of the actions are going to be the same, right? I'm going to go into like I'm going to go outside like Friday. I'm going outside. I'm getting in my car, getting ready to go somewhere. Maybe I go to the gym instead of going to the party or going to the game, right? It's the small tweak. It's the small tweak, man. Let me know if y'all feel me in the comments. Just drop something in the comments. Like, it's literally the small tweak that's affecting the major changes for your life and for your lifestyle. But if we don't take the time and we don't start making decisions to choose ourselves, then we're going to continue to fall short. Like that's just the way it goes. So real quick, I'm gonna recap these. So y'all, first and foremost, this is Wellness Wednesday, and if you've just tapped in today, I've told all the parents congratulations, and I'm happy that your kids are going back to school. But now let's get back to us, right? I hit these 3 tips. The first tip was the one thing rule for mental health. So it's just focusing on one simple wellness habit that you have and that you want to improve, and you want to focus on every week. Instead of overwhelming yourself with 5, 6, 7, 8 different things to where this is going to be just challenging for anybody to accomplish. And then the second one was understanding the connection between what you consume in your body and then what the output is, right? What feeling is it giving you? Are these things that you're consuming, is it boosting your energy? Is it draining your energy? Is it building your mood up? Is it taking your mood down? And that even goes, or that even includes like what you're consuming and watching on TV. There's certain shows I had to stop watching because of how I felt after the show. It was taking me on an emotional roller coaster, and I was drained and exhausted. And I said, you know what? This ain't it, bro. So I had to stop. I had to stop. And then the last one was small wins. So tiny wins create major momentum. So don't move too fast past the things that you're doing in the ways that you're accomplishing things and tasks. Don't blow past that, right? Don't blow past that. All right, okay, yeah, okay. Kids play podcasts. I like that. I fully believe in the replacement system. I call it tricking my brain. I like it. I like it. I like it. Call it tricking my brain. I like it. Let the kids play. What up, Playhouse? I like this image right here. I like that image of you right there. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I like that image. Hold up. Hold on, Watts. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. But yeah, we got to trick our brain from time to time, because if we don't, then we're gonna just continue to do the same habits that we've been doing, rocking with the same habits that we've been rocking with. Uh, Playhouse, do me a favor, write down in the chat what is one area that you're seeking to improve in, right? What's one thing? What's your one thing that you're going to, or your one simple wellness habit? Excuse me, that you're looking to focus on, and you're looking to grow, and really challenge yourself there. But y'all, we're currently 39 minutes after the hour. About to take a quick commercial break. And we're going to come right back with more Speaker Success in the morning after this commercial. But if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any episodes and you don't miss any content that we put out. Jonathan Jones will be right back with more Speaker Success in the morning.
Do you want to feel confident in your skin every day? Introducing Skin Rituals, a luxury home-based skin studio that specializes in hyperpigmentation, acne, and personalized treatments for every skin type. Owned by solo esthetician and registered nurse Courtney Durham, Skin Rituals is all about curating facial treatments designed just for you. Hydrate, brighten, nourish, and soothe your skin with expert care and cutting-edge techniques that promote natural healing. Whether you're looking for a relaxing facial or a transformative chemical peel, Skin Rituals offers results-driven treatment tailored to your needs. With over 7 years of experience, Courtney's goal is to help you safely achieve the healthy skin that you deserve. At Skin Rituals, we believe that taking care of your skin is an investment in your confidence. Book your appointment today and leave every session feeling grateful for the choice that you made to take care of yourself. Skin Rituals, because your skin deserves the very best.
Family, welcome back to Speak Your Success in the morning. Welcome back. Today is Wellness Wednesday, so y'all already know we're diving in, talking about how we can improve our life, how we can optimize our life, and how we really can just grow, make things happen. Okay, Playhouse, let's see what you got right here. Let's see what you got. Playhouse said, I've been working on decreasing my caffeine intake. Oh, wow. That's a big one. So I stopped drinking Mountain Dew and I swapped it for black tea. Still caffeine, but less intake and less sugar. Hey, okay. Yeah, come on there, Playhouse. Hey, improvement is improvement, and we celebrate improvements over here. Because just like I was talking about not down below, but just like I was talking about before, at the end of the day, tiny changes create and build massive momentum and massive movements. So shout out to you. Shout out to you for making the switch, right? Because I know that's less caffeine, but I'm also gonna say I believe it's gonna be less sugar as well. So kudos to you. So now, y'all, what we're gonna transition into. I've been online a little bit. I've been online, not too much, right? Not too much, but I've been seeing some stuff, and I want to break this thing down. So, y'all, some of this stuff is interesting. Some of it, I don't know. And let me know in the chat how y'all feel about it as we go down and talk about some of this stuff. But first and foremost, right here, what I want to talk about is Gap. Has anybody seen this? Let me know in the chat. Have you seen that that Gap has built a hoodie? Not built, but Gap created a hoodie made with a built-in pillow. Has anybody seen this? Let's go to the next slide. So look, Okay. Please use in case of an in-flight nap emergency. That's hilarious. But put on your hoodie, locate the mouthpiece, pull it from the hood, blow air until it's fully inflated, raise your hood, and nap comfortably. Has anybody seen this? This is crazy. Let's see. Okay. So look, they're out here getting hooded up with the Gap hoodie. Has anybody seen this? Please let me know. And are y'all gonna buy this? Because what it's saying is the hoodie dropped and the hoodie's supposed to be going for 120. Okay, 120 for the Gap sleep hoodie. Okay, I'm not sure if y'all are paying the 120 piece for that. I'm not gonna pay 120 for that, but I don't know if y'all will. But yeah, Playhouse said I haven't, but that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Playhouse, like that's wild. Is it crazy because of the sleep hoodie with the pillow, or is it crazy because it's 120? Okay, let's talk about it. Oh man, but yeah, there it is. There it is. That Gap hoodie. It's almost like they have the pillow from when the neck pillow that you put on your neck when you walk around the airport. Which I used to always laugh at those people until I got one. One time I was on a trip. I said, "Let me just get one of these." Man, that neck pillow changed my life. I got some great sleep with that neck pillow. Okay, let me hit this next topic. All right, so look, there's a new bill. There's a new bill in Texas for my Texas folk. There's a new bill in Texas that requires all high school students to complete a course on financial literacy. All right, if producer Britt was here, I know she would have some things to say, especially just around like anything NIL. And this isn't necessarily NIL, but one thing I will say is high school students completing a course on financial literacy, I think is extremely important. Extremely important. For the simple fact that you can learn about finances before you get that credit card and before you just start to splurge all this money everywhere and just start getting everything. So now, check this out. Now you're able to further this. You're now able to further how that mind works. You start putting some money back. You start saving some money. I think this is great news, right? I think it's really great news. And I think this is really great for not only just the culture, but I'm happy because I know if I learned financial literacy like from a teacher or something like that in a class, then hey, maybe I wouldn't have some of this debt that I have. Maybe I wouldn't, right? Maybe I wouldn't. And I want to show this last thing because this was I feel like this is funny, but also I think it could be beneficial. And let me know y'all's thoughts in the chat. Let's go to it. So this thing right here. Let's run it back.
Wow, this weird device just made 2-minute brushing obsolete. Meet the Pheno Smart Brush. Its unique full mouth design houses.
What's one thing your mom did that raised your little eyebrow?
Wow, this weird device just made 2-minute brushing obsolete. Meet the Pheno Smart Brush. Its unique full mouth design houses 18,000 bristles that clean across every tooth surface.
Okay, so 18,000 bristles is crazy, first and foremost. But like the design is the part that's getting me. So it's like a big old mouthpiece with brushes and bristles on it, and people brushing their teeth with this thing, and it's supposed to do it quick, right? You saving time. Everybody look happy using it. Is anybody gonna get anybody gonna get that bristle brush? Like, am I the only one? Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw it, I was like, maybe, right? Maybe I could consider maybe getting one of those, depending on what that price point looks like. But what are y'all's thoughts, right? Are you sticking old school, traditional? You sticking with the old? Just drop a 1 in the chat if you sticking old school. You right here with the old school toothbrush. Drop a 2 in the chat if you already have your own. You already have your own like mechanical toothbrush. But drop a 3 in the chat if you're gonna get this mouthpiece brush joint. Because I want to see if people are serious about that. I want to see what the interest look like on that. Because for me, I thought about it. I really thought about it, y'all. I really thought about it. Really considered it. Really considered it. But y'all, that's just some of the stuff I've seen online. But also, as we get ready to send these kids back to school, and as you all get to have some time back to yourself, I want y'all to be kind and to be gracious to yourself, man. Be gracious. Be gracious. I'm going to the final word. I should have took a break. But look, this is the final word. This is the final word here. This is the final word. We must be kind to others as we would and should be kind to ourselves. There's a young lady I know. Her name is Fanny Scully, and I attended a conference with her husband, Abraham Scully, and then my wife was in the room with her when she shared this nugget, and she said, when you began to negatively self-talk, right, like you began to say negative things to yourself about yourself, I want you to consider this. Consider this fact. Would you let somebody else talk to you or to one of your friends in that way? John, what are you saying? I'm saying sometimes we're harder on ourselves than we are on other people, but we're also just harder on ourselves than we need to be. Be gracious to yourself today. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself the space and opportunity to make a mistake, to get off track and then get back on track again. Allow yourself the space to grow, because at the end of the day and through it all, if you don't, then who will? But also, by you being gracious to yourself, then this is going to spur a culture of us being gracious to everybody else around us. So family, do something nice for yourself today, even if it's walking outside, getting some fresh air, getting some sun, whatever it is for you today. Do a little bit more of that, because you deserve it. You earned it. You're working through the week. You're being an adult. You're paying bills. You're parenting kids. You're living your life. You're pursuing your dream. Give yourself the opportunity to where you can celebrate yourself one small change at a time, one small habit improve at a time, because that's what it's all about. Tiny changes, tiny incremental changes lead to massive momentum results. Family, make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, that you go ahead and subscribe to Speak Your Success right here in the morning. And also, family, remember, all right? Speak your success, believe in your greatness, and continue to create the life and business of your dreams. Why should you and why would you live any other